Welcome back to the Build Homies. Thank you guys for subscribing last time. I asked you guys and we had a huge jump in subscribers. You should see it. It was like, this is my normal, and then it was like, bam, up, down, because no one subscribed afterwards. But it was pretty cool. It was awesome. Thank you guys so much. To start off our video, we have 3 new members to the channel when they hit the little join button on the bottom. So here goes nothing. We have Shane Jackson. We have Joe P. And we have 2SS Sinister, or 2S Sinister, whatever you want to be called. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining the channel, and welcome to the family, boys. So today we're going to attempt to get this thing running and up to operating temperature. I do have a coolant temp sensor. I have a serpentine belt so we can run the water pump. In order to run the water pump, we have to run the power steering pumps, which means we have to hook that up. We have to put our pressure reducing kit inside of it. So that's gonna be our first thing we have to do. And then we'll do the fuel system after that, which means the tank has to come out. But I'd like to get this up and running to temperature, hopefully on the ECU that's in it now. If not, then bummers. But that's where we're gonna start, boys. So this has to come off first, and we're gonna try and put our pressure reducing kit in it. Now when they asked, ooh, tippy camera. Now when they asked me which alternator I had, I didn't know because there's 110 and there's a 160 amp one. So I was just assuming that we have the shittier one, because it determines the length of the belt. I'm guessing the pulley's different size, but it does not say. This might be like a, whatever the champion one is. Okay. Don't you put it in your mouth, though it might look good to eat. Ooh, this is heavy. This is our thingamajiggy. This is the line we're gonna have to reuse. And we're probably gonna spill some shit on the bench. Okay, so here's our kit. It's whatever this Borjigsons, and then it's part number 899001. On Summit site it said this is the one that will fit on a 5.3. Who knows if they're lying or not, but in the instructions here it tells you Mustang rack and pinions generally require approximately 1,000 psi, and then it tells you how many shims to put in for 1,000 psi. So add 3 shims. But that's the plan. So we're going to pull this thing off first, which requires snap ring pliers apparently. I've actually had these same cheap snap ring pliers since I did automotive school in college. So 10 years now. And I don't know why that snap ring was on there, considering there's an E-clip right underneath it. And for all intents and purposes, I'm just videoing this so I know how to put it back together later. Yeah, whatever, man. I think I got it. I just needed the all-size wrench. Okay, I see what we have here going on. Okay, it looks a lot better now that we have our thing, because on our book here, and then this piece, it looks like this one right here is this piece right here in the book. So then this is all inside the pump. It's all in here. We're gonna take our magnet. So they actually give you a collar provided in the kit here. And this slides over this so you don't damage it, so you can put it in the vise. And then we need a 7/16 wrench. There it goes. Now because we have to put the shims just on here, we can leave the ball and the spring in there. And what this is going to do, I think it's just going to let up pressure on the spring by making this shim out further. That was pretty neat. That was pretty easy. That wasn't too difficult at all. So saved myself a lot of money from having to buy like a custom made line anyways. Now we just got to find enough bolts to assemble all this stuff. Doesn't sound in the best shape. That's one sounds better. We also got a coolant temperature sensor, which is kind of cool, I guess, because we'll probably need it. I'm gonna put my feed line back on as well. For now. Okay, so next up, this is our GM line from the power steering. That goes on the back, and then here's our Ford one down here that we're gonna have to join up to it right here. So I think these are both 3/8 lines. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them, and I'm just gonna put a union in them, like a compression fitting, and hopefully it works. So we're gonna cut this one off, probably midway. Give us some room if we fuck it up, I guess. Worst case, we do screw it up and then we just gotta buy a new line anyways, but there's like a rubber on the outside of this, so making it a bit more difficult to cut. Oh, it's actually like rubber coated. That's annoying. So this is lame. There's like a rubber coating around the whole thing. I'm gonna have to like skim off, hopefully, without ruining any of the metal to make a good sealing surface. But it's probably not gonna work like the rest of my goddamn life. And if this turns out that this doesn't work, I also have a flaring tool that I can use, and I could just like put double flares on each one and then join them together. But I was trying to be lazy and quick and use a compression fitting. Quick never wins, Kyle. Quick never wins, says all the women. So after a ton of cleaning, we managed to get this. Bam! Looks like it should fit. We have a compression fitting here. Gotta get the other end of the tube on there now. So all we gotta do is we gotta take this one, clean it off, put it in here, and then join these two together. And then we got Ford GM power steering line MOFs for free. Free line, well, whatever the cost of this fitting was. And I'm a little bit of a baller, so I got a little ratchety one too. So like, you can go and then tighten it, and then, you know how to cut lines, maybe. Actually, before I cut the line, I should clean it, because that way it'll be easier to clean, and then I won't get any debris inside of it either. What I've been doing is just take this scuff pad and I'm all like, so this is our other piece. It's gonna go in here. That's it, that's our line, that's the angle we needed. So I'm gonna tighten this in. It does make a big dumb loop around the engine bay, I'll show you in a second. But it was free, so. So you can see down here, this is our line, goes right here. And then it just makes a loop and comes back around to the other side. It's gonna be easy just to like clamp it down there on that bracket. And then the return line's right here, and we just have to plug it into right there. So we'll do that quickly. The alternator must go on now. It's super ugly and sits up super high, and nobody likes it. But we're gonna use it because it's a choo-choo eBay turbo build. Everything's a hammer around here. Oh no. That was loud. Let's see if this fits. So, up and around. Under, over. Up. Bam! We did it. Belt clearance, great everywhere. Oh yeah, we put our second power steering line on right here. Follows the other ones down on the bottom. can probably see them from over here. Yeah. Starting to look like a thing. I'm going to put a hose clamp on this little rat hose and then put all the connectors on for the engine. I guess we can pour some coolant in it. I know it's not Dex Cool like it should be for a GM, but this is likely coming out soon again anyways, because nothing happens right first, good on the first time. This one's gonna be tricky to fill. I should get a funnel. This is straight, this is like 100% concentrate coolant, so I'm gonna fill it up so I have enough in the engine, because it gets to -40 where we live, and if I keep this outside then, oops. So I'll put the coolant in first and then I'll put the water in after. And it just so happens that we actually have some distilled water. Usually I would just use tap water because I'm cheap, but if we got it, we might as well use it. We have a coolant reservoir here for Meow. We can just stick somewhere. This is the one off my Supra that I didn't put on last year because I use a water bottle. So I guess we're going to attempt to start this and keep it running. So I do have everything wired up. There's coolant in it. We're going to have to add more coolant, I think, when the thermostat opens. Turbo lines are on, everything's on, exhaust is on. Serpentine belt is on. I'm going to put the alternator wire on. And then maybe if we connect the alternator to power. So, alright, we're about to fire this up. I want to see if I can get it up to temperature. Actually, I want to see if it's just going to run first. But if it does run, I want to get it up to temperature. So we can kind of break in the cam a little bit. I think I have everything I need here. If this doesn't work, we're going to have to replace the ECU for sure. But let's give it a go. I have everything down here that I need hooked up. And, I don't know what I did. It's probably because our tune sucks ass with our big cam. But that sounded super cool. I loved it. Nothing's leaking down there. We need that ECU. I'm getting smoked out in here now. So if I hold a wide open throttle, it'll cut fuel, I think. I think that's how the ECU... I gotta turn this off for a second. Okay, so if I hold the throttle wide open, I think it cuts the fuel in the ECU, so then it allows us, I'm dying in here. And then it'll fire up, but then it dies right away. So we're gonna need a tune for the ECU for sure. I had it running, I got greedy, I started playing with the throttle because I wanted to rev it up a little bit more because it was idling too low. and then it turned off. So we're waiting on the ECU. It shipped like December 20th sometime. We're waiting on a torque converter that shipped like early December. I just ordered the slip yoke for the transmission, and like, it sounds good. I like it. We have a bit of work to do with intercooler piping, and there's not much left to do. So thank you guys for staying tuned. This was just me tinkering in the garage today. I had a bit extra time. I just decided to come out here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. Peace easy. Get that V.